Good day, folks. It's Mehdi here again. A huge shout out for all the folks who have viewed my Hydrogen 2 OS version 4 review. A massive more than 6,500 views on that. A huge shout out to the folks who viewed it, and even bigger shout out to the 11 people who thumbs up my video, and even greater shout out to the 4 people who have subscribed to my channel. It's a new channel, so he really appreciate the response. The 4 of you. You guys mean a lot to me, so therefore a huge shout out. This video, I wanted to, one of the requests in the comments that I received, out of the 4 comments that I received, thank you very much, was to highlight the bugs that H2 has, H2 version 4 has specifically. So therefore, a very short video on what I've been using it for a little over 3 days now, from the time the version 4 came out, which was released, which was the 19th of June. There's a new version came out on the 26th of June. So from the 19th up until now, 7 days of my using H2 as my daily driver. A few bugs that I've noticed. So let's just quickly get right into it. If you're on version 4, the system update OTA, every now and then it pops up and says there's a new version. As with every person like me out there, I didn't want to use the word geek, but nonetheless, what gets us going are the notifications that pop up and say, "Yo, there is an OTA." There you go. Ooh, something new, something different. What's changed? What's not? We're like more than happy to basically click on that and see what's happening. One word of advice: please do not do that post version 4 until, I don't know, up until now at least. I haven't been able to update it, and that's one of the bugs that I want to talk about today. You go in the systems update. So if you go in here, scroll down, about phone, systems update, it'll search for the system update, and that says, there you go, download now. It's the build, as you can see here. It's the 26th of June build. As would be the case, I downloaded it, I upgraded it. It sort of, was seamless up until the time the phone upgraded it, rebooted itself, came to the lock screen. Up until that time also was fine. I flicked it on top. I unlocked the screen, and the first dialogue that popped up was Google Play, services stopped. Now I'm like, okay, every now and then that thing happens. You press OK, go into Play Store, try and revive it a few times, or maybe reboot it a couple of times, and then voila, that thing more often than not works. Unfortunately, that does not. The phone goes into sort of a black state. The screen turns black. The moment you press OK on that first dialog, which says Google Play services have stopped, the Google Play Store has stopped. You press OK, the screen goes into the black state, and unfortunately, there's nothing much you can do. No matter how many reboots you do, no matter how much you go into your recovery and try and reboot into the system from there, doesn't work. So what I had to do was I had to go back to my version 4 file and reflash the ROM again into version 4 that way. So it was a bit of a scare last night. This came out last night, so it was a bit of a scare for me, but fortunately version 4 picked up, no data loss. I did a very dirty flash, so no wiping of anything, so therefore I got my entire operating system all over again. So that was one huge bug. So do not do the OTA post version 4 until folks come up on XDA or any other forum who suggest otherwise. So that was one. Second huge concern that I have right now is when someone calls you, the your phone currently, most of the time it's in your pocket or whatever it is. It's the screen is off. It's locked. The screen is off. You've kept it on the table or in your pocket. Someone rings. The ring is, it vibrates. It rings. That all of that is fine. But when you pick up the phone, when you want to see who's ringing, unfortunately the screen is still in the locked state. It does not show who the person is calling. Who is the person who's calling? So that's a huge issue. So I'm gonna have to. I normally double tap the screen, wake the screen up, go into my home screen. It still does not show me who the caller is. However, what it does is it basically shows it at the top here. That blue one line says that there's something happening in the background. There's a notification. So you go into the notification, and that's when. You can actually see the person who's calling, and by that time it's a little too late. I've dropped many calls just because of that issue. I don't know, it could be some of my settings in my build prop, but I will be more than glad to hear this from anybody else who is facing or is not facing. I would love to hear from someone who says that he or she is not facing this issue, so that I can go back into my build prop or any other setting tool and try and see what's causing my phone to do so. So that was second. Battery, yes. Some of the folks on XDA and some of the reviews that I had done on H2OS version 2, people were actually harping about the battery. I have been using this for 7 days now. Now, unfortunately, for me, the battery just does not go the distance. I had to personally do a lot of tweaks. Like use CPU profiling, system shut, specific frequency, system on specific frequency, when the phone is charging a specific frequency, and so on and so forth. And therefore, I got today was the voila eureka moment for me, when I actually got a huge tremendous bump in my battery life. So it's 63%. I've been using it for a little under 12 hours now, about 10 hours. It's still 63%, mild to moderate usage. I hadn't used this phone at a stretch today. But what's more important is, because of the tweaks that I made, especially because of the Xpose framework and Greenify and the Amplify apps, because of those, I could put a lot of my battery draining apps into wake locks. So I've locked their wake ups and did a few other tricks, and therefore today I'm a very happy person. I will sleep like a baby tonight, just because my battery lasted me 10 hours and it is still 63%. So it is phenomenal for me. It is like I don't know. It is the eureka moment that I've been waiting for quite a long time. So that was the second drawback. I thought, oh yeah, big time. Accounts, settings, going to, if you want to see what your accounts are, like the way, place where you find all your Google and any other sort of WhatsApp or, Facebook or LinkedIn accounts. Everything else works. For example, if you're going to Facebook, there you are. If you're going to LinkedIn, yes, you have your it shows you your account. But dig this, see what happens when I go into Google. When I say go into Google, there you go. Unfortunately, settings has stopped. Now, this is a bit of a concern for me, especially because I do not like to sync some of the features that Google makes you sync. For example, mail, I don't use Gmail. I don't use, there are a few other I have 2 or 3 accounts of Google that I use. Not every account that I use for syncing my apps or syncing my mail or syncing my contacts even. I just have one account that I use for contacts. But with this, how many other accounts that I add, it tends to pretty much wants to sync pretty much everything, and it doesn't even give me the option, like if I go back and then Google has stopped again. So that's a huge bummer for me. I hope in the next stable version, that goes out, that's settled. Honestly, these were the 3 major issues that I had with H2. I mean, there are the other ones where you don't have many advanced settings or many personalization settings that that one wants to do, for example, change icons on the status bar, or change the settings that are there in the notification panel, or the quick settings. The apps I can't change. So these are minor stuff which I can still live with, because I use Xpose to try and balance the shortcomings of H2V4. But unfortunately, those are the three big ones that I found. That was kind of like that thing that always nags in your head, that ticks in your head, and saying your phone is not perfect. You want your phone to be perfect all the time, but that thing that keeps nagging, saying, okay, there's one thing that's not working. What can I do about it? What can I do about it? I mean, okay, I understand OTA. I'll still wait. I'm fine with that. The battery life, I tend to fix it, so I'm a OnePlus on that right now. I'm one up on that. But the accounts, it just does not allow me to go in there. Now that's a bit of a bummer. I don't know what to do, and that when my hands are tied, I feel bad. When I said earlier on that I'll sleep like a baby, now that I've reminded myself that there is an issue, unfortunately I don't see that happening again. But there you go, folks. There were these issues from my end. I call it the Mehdi's view. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like. I would like it to be more than 11 likes out of the 6,500 plus views that I had. I really appreciate a few more likes there. And to all the 4 people who have subscribed to me, I want to say I love you. I don't know whether or not I can do that over the air, but I just want to say, yeah, I love you guys. Thank you very much, and until next time, see you later. Bye-bye.